The universe is alive with energy, always responding, always listening. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every belief you hold becomes a message you send out. The question is not whether the universe is listening. It always is. The question is, what are you telling it? Today, let's unlock the secret of aligning with this powerful force so it works for you, not against you. Every single thought you think carries an energy, a vibration, a frequency that radiates out into the universe. It may seem invisible, intangible, almost too subtle to matter, but this is the very force that begins to shape the experiences you attract. Each moment you hold a thought, whether positive or negative, loving or fearful, expansive or limiting, you are broadcasting a signal to the universe. And because the universe is always listening, always mirroring, always reflecting, it sends back to you more of that same frequency. When you wake up in the morning and your mind immediately starts racing with worry, doubt, or stress, that becomes the energetic tone of your day. You might not even realize how often your mind drifts into patterns of lack. I don't have enough money. I'm always late. Things never work out for me. These may sound like simple thoughts, but in truth, they are powerful messages being transmitted into the field of creation. And like a magnet, you begin to attract more moments that confirm those thoughts. But the beautiful part of this truth is that you are not powerless. If thoughts can create more lack, they can also create more abundance. If thoughts can reinforce fear, they can also cultivate love. The first step is awareness. Begin to observe what kind of thoughts you entertain most often. Are they nurturing you or draining you? Are they affirming your worth or questioning it? Do they open doors or close them? Think of your mind as a garden. Each thought is a seed. If you keep planting seeds of doubt, frustration, and fear, what will grow? A garden overrun with weeds, blocking the light of your potential. But if you plant seeds of faith, joy, and possibility, you will soon see a garden filled with beauty and opportunities blossoming all around you. The universe does not judge which seeds you plant. It simply nourishes what you choose to grow. Start by paying attention to the energy behind your thoughts. Every time you catch yourself thinking, I can't, gently pause and shift it to, what if I can? Instead of, I never have enough, try, I am open to receiving more. These small changes create a ripple effect. One by one, they change the entire frequency you are sending out. Imagine your thoughts as music playing on a radio. If the station is set to anger, jealousy, or fear, that is the song the universe hears, and it will dance to that tune. But you hold the power to change the station. You can tune into peace, gratitude, love, and abundance at any moment. It takes practice. Yes, it takes awareness, yes. But each time you shift your inner channel, you shift your outer reality. Do not be hard on yourself if you find negative thoughts still arise. The purpose is not to never have a negative thought. That would be unnatural. The purpose is to become so aware that when they come, you do not let them take root. You choose again. You select a thought that serves you, that uplifts you, that aligns with the life you desire. Little by little, this becomes your natural habit, and your dominant vibration changes. And when your vibration changes, everything changes. People who once overlooked you begin to notice you. Opportunities that once seemed distant begin to find their way to your door. Ideas flow more freely. Solutions appear with less struggle. Because now your thoughts are not pushing life away. They are inviting it in. The universe is like an echo chamber. Whatever you send out, it returns. So today, send out love even if you are not yet where you want to be. Send out gratitude even if the big breakthrough hasn't happened yet. Send out trust even if you cannot yet see the path clearly. Each of these thoughts carries a vibration that lifts you higher, and in that higher state, You become a magnet for the good you desire. This is how powerful you are. One thought at a time, you can either dim your world or light it up. One thought at a time, you can either call in blessings or push them away. The choice is always yours. So choose thoughts that match the life you dream of living. Choose thoughts that tell the universe, I am ready. I am worthy. I am open. And the universe, which is always listening, will respond with a simple and resounding yes. Every word that leaves your lips carries energy. Words are not just sounds, they are powerful vibrations that shape your life, your relationships, and the reality you experience. Every time you speak, you are sending out a message to the universe, and the universe listens without judgment. It does not decide whether your words are helpful or harmful. It simply reflects back to you the energy behind them. This is why being conscious of what you say is one of the most transformative steps you can take toward creating the life you truly want. When you speak casually about your struggles, saying things like, I'm always broke, I can never get ahead, or nothing ever works for me, you are unknowingly giving instructions to the universe. These words become affirmations, not the kind that build you up, but the kind that reinforce lack, struggle, and limitation. You may think you are just venting, just expressing how you feel, but every sentence carries a seed that will grow into your future experiences. The more you repeat these words, the deeper the roots go. On the other hand, when you speak words of intention, you shift your entire vibration, saying things like, I am finding new opportunities. Money flows to me in surprising ways. Or I am learning to thrive, carries a completely different energy. These words open doors, they invite possibilities, they align you with abundance rather than resistance. You don't have to know how these things will unfold. Your job is simply to plant the seed with your words, to send a clear and intentional message. There is a reason why ancient traditions and modern teachings alike emphasize the power of the spoken word. Words are creative forces. They carry weight. They linger in the spaces we inhabit and shape the way others respond to us. How many times have you heard someone speak with confidence and felt inspired by their energy, even before they acted? And how many times have you felt drained by someone who constantly complains, criticizes, or speaks of what cannot be done? That is the power of words. They either uplift or they diminish. Becoming intentional with your speech does not mean pretending everything is perfect when it is not. It means choosing words that move you forward, even when things are uncertain. It means saying, I am working toward peace, instead of I am always anxious. It means saying, I am open to healing, instead of I am broken. These subtle shifts carry profound consequences because the universe matches the vibration you express most consistently. You may wonder, what about when I'm angry, sad, or frustrated? Should I suppress my truth? Absolutely not. You are human and your emotions are valid. But there is a difference between acknowledging your feelings and building your identity around them. You can say, I feel angry right now, instead of I am always angry. You can say, this moment is hard, instead of my life is nothing but hardship. One holds space for healing, the other reinforces a cycle of pain. Every time you speak, you are casting a spell over yourself and over your life. Start paying attention to casual phrases you use often. I'm so unlucky. I'm terrible with money. I never find love. Would you like to keep those as your daily affirmations? Or would you rather shift them, even slightly, to good things often come my way? I am learning to manage my finances. A low finds me in the right time. These statements may feel simple, but they begin to rewrite the energetic instructions you are giving to life. The people who experience the greatest transformations are not always the ones who do the most or work the hardest. Often, they are the ones who begin to speak differently about themselves, their dreams, and their circumstances. Their words become a bridge between where they are and where they want to be. They don't speak as victims, they speak as creators. They don't constantly affirm their limitations, they affirm their growth even before it fully arrives. The universe is like a mirror. If you keep saying, "I never get what I want," the mirror reflects more of that truth. If you start saying, "I am open to receiving good things," the mirror slowly changes its reflection. It may not shift overnight, but each word builds momentum. Each statement of faith, each sentence of gratitude, each declaration of intention gathers energy, and that energy becomes your experience. So begin today. Listen to the words that escape your lips without thinking. Pause before you speak about your challenges and ask, is this the reality I want to strengthen, or is there a better way to speak it? Speak about where you are going, not just where you have been. Speak as if your dreams are already making their way to you. Speak with care, with awareness, with love, because your words are building the foundation for your tomorrow, one sentence at a time. There is a natural flow to life, a rhythm that guides all things to their perfect time and place. Yet many of us unknowingly resist that flow. We cling to control. We demand to know every step before it happens, and we tighten our grip on how things must unfold. This resistance becomes a barrier between us and the very things we desire. When we hold on too tightly, when we insist on controlling every detail, we send a message to the universe that we do not truly trust it. And the universe, always listening, always responding, mirrors that tension right back to us. Releasing resistance is not about giving up your dreams or lowering your standards. It is about loosening your grip and allowing the natural current of life to carry you where you need to go. Think of water flowing in a river. When you try to swim upstream against the current, every moment feels like struggle, effort, exhaustion. But when you turn around and flow with the river, you still move, but now with ease, grace, and support. The river has always been there. The only difference is how you chose to move with it. Trust is the bridge that connects desire to manifestation. You may have planted the seed of your dream, nurtured it with your thoughts, and watered it with your words. But without trust, it struggles to grow. Imagine a farmer digging up the soil every day to check if the seed has sprouted. Constantly pulling at it, questioning it, doubting it. The seed needs time, warmth, patience, and faith. In the same way, your dreams require trust to flourish. When you hold on to fear, impatience, or doubt, you block the flow of receiving. You may say you want abundance, but deep down believe it is hard to come by. You may pray for love, yet constantly check your phone to see if anyone has messaged you, feeling desperate in the waiting. That very desperation creates resistance, and resistance delays what is already on its way. The moment you release, the moment you breathe and say, "I trust that what I desire is already being arranged," a shift happens. You open the door instead of standing in its way. Trust does not mean being passive. It means you continue to take steps, you remain open to opportunities, but you let go of the anxiety of when and how. Life often works in mysterious ways. Ways you cannot predict or control. A chance meeting, a sudden idea, a door that seems to close only to lead to a better one. These are the paths the universe uses. Your job is to stay aligned, stay present, and stop wrestling with the timeline. Resistance often comes from fear. Fear that things will not work out. Fear that you are not worthy. Fear that time is running out. But fear is a poor guide. It pushes you into overthinking, overdoing, and overanalyzing. Trust, on the other hand, allows you to breathe, to rest in the knowing that you are supported. Even when you cannot see the evidence yet, even when the result is not visible, trust says, something is moving for me right now. Try to remember moments in your past when things seemed uncertain, but eventually worked out, even in ways better than you imagined. You may not have seen it then, but looking back, can you see how the pieces aligned? That same intelligence, that same unseen orchestration is working now. Life is always arranging, always aligning, always guiding you, especially when you stop forcing and start allowing. One of the most powerful ways to release resistance is through surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It is strength in its highest form. It is saying, I have done my part, and now I allow life to do the rest. When you release the need to control the entire journey, you give space for miracles to happen. The phone call you were waiting for may come when you least expect it. The opportunity you thought was lost may return in a different, better form. The relationship you were chasing may dissolve to make space for one that truly honors you. Trust is an act of love toward yourself. It says, I believe I am worthy of good things, and I believe they are coming. It allows you to stop living in the future and start living in the now. Knowing the now is the fertile ground where all creation begins. Each time you choose trust over tension, you raise your vibration, and the universe matches that raised energy with more ease, more flow, more serendipity. Life is not meant to be a constant struggle to control. It is meant to be a dance, a movement between action and allowance. Take the steps that feel aligned, make the choices that honor your soul, and then trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you. The more you release resistance, the more space you create for what you truly desire to arrive effortlessly. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can ever align with because it changes your inner world before anything outside of you changes. It is not just about saying thank you. When things go well, it is about training yourself to see the blessings that are already present, even in the smallest forms, even when life feels uncertain or incomplete. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to more abundance, more joy, and more peace. When you practice gratitude sincerely, you shift your vibration from lack to receiving, from wanting to already having. And the universe, which is always listening, responds to that vibration by giving you more to be grateful for. Many people wait for the big moment, the big win, before they decide to feel grateful. They think gratitude is the result of something good happening, when in truth it is the cause. Gratitude is the soil in which all good things grow. Think about the times you have felt deeply appreciative, how light your heart felt, how open your mind became, how even the simplest things seem to carry a sweetness. That state of being is not passive, it is magnetic. It calls to itself more experiences that match its frequency. You do not have to wait for a perfect life to begin feeling grateful. In fact, if you keep waiting, you may spend your whole life chasing after what could have been, blind to what already is. Gratitude starts where you are, with what you have now. The bed that held you while you slept, the air you breathe without asking, the body that carries you even when you take it for granted, the moments of kindness, the lessons learned, the strength you have developed through challenges. There is always something to appreciate, no matter how small. And as you acknowledge it, your energy begins to soften, open, and expand. One of the most profound effects of gratitude is how it shifts your focus. A mind focused on what is missing will always find more lack. A mind trained to see what is already present begins to find more reasons to smile, more reasons to trust, and more doors opening. Gratitude does not erase challenges, but it gives you the perspective to walk through them with strength and grace. It allows you to say, Even in this moment, there is something working for me, and that thought alone can change the entire course of your day. Try making gratitude a daily practice, not a random reaction. Each morning, before you step into the business of the world, pause and name 5 things you are grateful for. They do not need to be grand or extraordinary. In fact, the simpler, the better, because it trains your heart to recognize the constant stream of gifts already flowing your way. Each night, as you rest your head, thank the day for what it taught you, what it brought you, even if some of those gifts came wrapped as lessons. As you deepen this practice, something beautiful begins to happen. What once felt ordinary becomes extraordinary. A smile from a stranger, a warm cup of tea, a moment of silence in a noisy world, all become treasures. And when your inner world is full of treasures, the outer world starts to match it. You become more attractive to opportunities because people can feel the openness in your energy. You make better decisions because you are no longer operating from a place of lack or desperation. You draw to yourself relationships, chances, and blessings that mirror your thankful heart. Gratitude also dissolves envy and comparison. When you are truly grateful for your path, you no longer look at someone else's life and feel that burning need to compete or measure up. You start to celebrate their blessings as evidence that good things are possible, that abundance is not scarce but plentiful. You stop asking, why them and not me, and start saying, I see what's possible, and I trust my turn is coming. That shift alone frees you from a world of unnecessary suffering. It is easy to feel grateful when life gives you exactly what you asked for, but the real transformation happens when you find gratitude in the waiting, in the in-between, in the process of becoming. Because in that state, you are saying to the universe, I am already blessed. I am already supported. I am already enough. And from that place, you no longer chase your desires, you attract them. Gratitude is not a ritual of the mind alone. It is a language of the heart. It is felt, not forced. And the more you feel it, the more it colors your words, your actions, and your presence. You become someone who carries light into rooms, someone who shifts energy simply by being appreciative of life itself. And life, in return, gives you more of that light back. Start where you are. Thank the moment you are in now, not because it is perfect, but because it is leading you somewhere important. Thank the lessons that grew your strength, the pauses that built your patience, the challenges that expanded your courage. Gratitude is never wasted. Every whisper of thank you carries out into the universe like a beacon, calling back to you more reasons to whisper it again. Visualization is more than just seeing an image in your mind. It is the art of feeling your desired reality as if it is already here. The mind creates pictures, but the heart sends out the vibration that moves those pictures into form. When you visualize with feeling, you are not only imagining something, you are embodying it. You are stepping into the version of yourself who already lives that life, and the universe begins to align with that frequency. This is why so many people visualize without results. They focus only on the image, not the emotion behind it. The picture is the seed, but the feeling is the water and the sunlight that help it grow. Close your eyes and think of something you deeply desire. Perhaps it is a new home, a loving relationship, a thriving career, vibrant health, or a sense of peace that flows through your days. Now, instead of simply seeing it as a movie playing in your mind, step into that scene. What does it feel like to walk through that home? To wake up beside someone who cherishes you? To see your name on that promotion letter or your business thriving? How does your body feel in that moment? Light, relaxed, joyful, at ease. Those feelings are the key. The universe responds to your emotional vibration far more than your words or images alone. Think of the times you have worried about something intensely. You imagined the worst, you felt anxiety, the heaviness in your chest, and often those worries became self-fulfilling prophecies. That is visualization too, but in the negative direction. You poured emotion into it, and life matched that energy. The same process, when flipped in the positive, becomes a tool of creation. By feeling the joy of what you want as if it is already yours, you draw it closer. It is not about pretending or forcing happiness. It is about training your mind and body to get familiar with the state you want to live in. If you desire financial abundance, imagine yourself paying bills with ease, treating yourself without guilt, giving generously without fear of running out. Let your body relax into that safety. If you desire love, imagine being seen, understood, and valued. Let your heart feel that warmth now. This is not a game of when it happens, then I will feel it. This is the practice of I will feel it now, so it can happen. Consistency is what makes this powerful. A few seconds of daydreaming is not enough to rewrite a lifetime of limiting beliefs. Set aside time, even a few minutes each morning or night, to step into that feeling. The more you visit that emotional state, the more it becomes familiar. And what is familiar to your subconscious becomes what it seeks to recreate. Sometimes people worry that visualizing will make them complacent, as if they will stop taking action. But the opposite is true. When you feel as though your dream is real, you act from a place of inspiration, not desperation. Ideas flow more easily, opportunities feel more obvious, and your choices begin to line up with the version of you who already has what you want. Visualization is not a substitute for action. It is the energetic foundation that makes action meaningful. Do not be discouraged if, in the beginning, your mind resists. It may tell you, this is silly, or this is impossible. That is only the echo of old conditioning, the familiar voice of doubt. Let it pass through. Keep returning to the feeling. Each time you do, you are rewriting the script of your life. Each time you allow yourself to feel good without needing external proof, you become magnetic to better experiences. It is also important to release the timeline. Visualize with clarity, feel it deeply, but do not demand it to appear by a certain date or in a specific way. The universe often brings what you want through channels you cannot see at moments you least expect. Trust the process. Your role is to hold the vision and the feeling. Life will arrange the details. There may be days when nothing seems to change, when your outer world still looks the same. Those are the most important days to continue the practice, because in those moments, you are planting roots beneath the surface. Just as a seed takes time before it breaks through the soil, your new reality is forming in the unseen. Feel it now, and it will find its way to you. Visualization with feeling is a declaration. I am already becoming this person. I am already living this life. And the more you declare it in your heart, the less you chase and the more you attract. You become the vibrational match for the very thing you once thought was far away. And that is when the magic happens. Not because you forced it, but because you felt it real. Taking inspired action is the bridge between your intentions and the reality you wish to create. It is the moment when your inner work, your thoughts, your visualizations, your affirmations, begins to move outward into the physical world. Many people believe that manifestation is only about thinking positively or imagining the life they want, but without action, even the strongest intentions remain as unmanifested energy. The universe meets you halfway. It provides the opportunities, the nudges, the synchronicities. But you must take the steps that align with them. Inspired action is not about frantic effort or forcing things to happen. It is not running yourself into exhaustion or trying to control every outcome. It is action that feels guided, natural, and connected to your inner knowing. Think of the times when you felt a sudden urge to call someone, send an email, attend an event, or start a project without fully knowing why. And later, that choice opened a door you didn't see before. That is the nature of inspired action. It comes as a quiet whisper, a gentle pull, an intuitive nudge that says, go here, do this, try that. But many people get stuck because they wait for the perfect moment. They want every step of the path revealed before they take the first one. But the universe rarely works that way. The next step only becomes clear once you start moving. Imagine standing at the bottom of a staircase in the dark. You cannot see the entire staircase. But as soon as you take one step, the next step becomes visible. Action brings clarity. Movement creates momentum. It is also important to distinguish between action rooted in fear and action rooted in inspiration. Fear-based action feels heavy, desperate, and draining. It often comes from the belief that you must chase what you want or else it will slip away. Inspired action, on the other hand, feels lighter, even if it stretches you out of your comfort zone. It carries a sense of curiosity, flow, and alignment. You may feel nervous, yes, but there is an underlying sense of rightness, as though life is saying, this is your path. To cultivate this, you must learn to listen. Pay attention to the small impulses that arise when your mind is quiet. A sudden idea during a walk. A name that comes to you out of nowhere. A thought that repeats itself gently over and over. These are often the breadcrumbs leading you toward the next step. Do not dismiss them because they seem too small or too simple. The universe rarely hands you the entire plan. It gives you the next clue. Another aspect of inspired action is trust. You may not see immediate results. The email you send may not bring a response right away. The decision you make may not show its reward overnight. But each action plants a seed, and those seeds grow in their own time. Your role is to keep planting. Keep showing up, keep saying yes to the nudges that feel aligned. Over time, these small steps create a ripple that turns into a wave. There will be moments when fear tries to stop you. Thoughts like, what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if nothing comes of this? Will arise. But remember, action itself is a form of faith. It says to the universe, I am willing. I am open. I am ready to meet what I have been asking for. Even if the first step feels uncertain, it is far more powerful than standing still waiting for everything to be guaranteed. Taking inspired action also teaches you more about yourself. Through action, you discover what works and what doesn't, what lights you up and what drains are meant for you and which ones are not. Every step is feedback. Even the so-called wrong turns often redirections, guiding you closer to where you truly belong. Do not underestimate the power of even the smallest action. One message can lead to a new connection. One decision can shift your entire path. One step outside your comfort zone can open the door to opportunities you could not have planned. Life rewards movement. The energy you put out returns to you multiplied, but only when you release the need to have every outcome secured before you begin. Inspired action is about partnership with the universe. You do your part, and life does its part. You send out the intention, you align your energy, and then you act when the moment calls. It is a dance. Step, pause, listen, step again. Over time, this dance becomes more natural. You stop pushing, and you start flowing. You stop waiting for certainty, and you start creating it with each brave choice. The most successful manifestations often begin with one simple decision to act on a nudge that made no logical sense at first. So the question is not, how will I get there? The question is, what small step feels right today? Because the moment you act, you show the universe that you are serious. that you are engaged, that you are ready for more. And the universe, always listening, always responding, will meet you with the next step, and the next, and the next, until what once felt far away begins to feel like it was always meant for you.